June 11th, 2021, 6:45 a.m. and we are opening in value, in range, and we have taken out all of the previous highs overnight at this 70-80 area. So then we've sold off pretty sharply here, now coming back down to yesterday's point of control and testing down to some of this untested demand levels here. So yesterday we had this real big drop here, just came out of nowhere, and I wasn't at the screen anymore. So today, really just want to see if we're going to come down and continue to push down through value, or if we're going to come back up and take out these highs here. I did take a long here after this imbalance up, and then we came down, spiked out, and I was taking out break even. We put in this volume here, and this was definitely a counter context long and early, but I liked the idea, I liked the setup. We had increase in volume here after this large volume put in here, and I took the trade in here at 19, and I was taken out. And this was my target here, at least to the first trouble area at 33, 34, into these bar lows here, 36, 37 even. And now here we are. So it was a little bit early. I felt like this area definitely could have held and pushed down lower. And for the low side trade, also targeting, this is where price stopped right at this low volume area here. And now looking like that was definitely a good long try there. So far I've taken 2 longs and 1 quick short try. Both longs were right on the concept and the idea, and taken out break even on, I was in at 41 here after this push up, and then we came up, and my expectation was to get up into this volume here, at least to break into this low volume node at about the 68 area. And we had this little bit of a shakeout here on the push up into this area here, and I was taken out. We put in this large volume here, so we got up into the 57, so had some nice equity on the trade. Came all the way back down to 41. I was at +1 on this area, and then came all the way up to hit target, and then now we've actually come up and taken out the overnight high. So did have a little short kind of counter context, a little aggressive here when we pushed down, and I took one right in here. So we were up above this volume here, but I had a real small stop here above 61. I think I was in at 56, expecting this to be some kind of a shakeout, and never happened. And so I took a -5 on this trade, and so now I'm just kind of watching and see how we handle this overnight high. And either we're going to break higher, obviously, or we're going to break down. And I will be looking for some kind of counter context short to kind of break down some of this grindy weakness here. Won't be looking for anything huge, but at this point it's looking like it's just a slow, grindy, choppy kind of market. So we have broken the overnight high, and I took a long here right around 7, or not 7, but let's see, 849. And 849 is right after here, after we broke the high, came back down, and held this area here. Had a little failure low tick here, and that wasn't the only thing. It wasn't just the low tick, but the high was really weak here, meaning that we didn't have an unfair price here, just like this one as well. This was accepted price. We were accepting price, which to me, after this little push down, I grabbed this price here at 80 to break the highs, and now I really wanted to hold that for I had a target at 99, came up here, and then I locked in 10, and it took me out here. So unfortunately, not ideal, but 10 is better than nothing, so I'll take it for now. So after we put in this high volume here, we had a nice little sell-off, and then the largest volume of the day came in. Call it massive, like a very big compression or absorption, whatever, and then we low ticked, tried to break the lows again here, and then came in here with an increase in volume. At this point, I decided to take a long, I would call it somewhat of a counter context long, but trying to fill in this space to get back up above into this low volume area here. 97, I don't know if I'm going to get all the way there. After we test this high here at 88, I'll be looking to lock in something there, at least minimum, but I'd like to see the flush of this liquidity here with a little bit of a high volume area to get through there, but definitely could see us getting back up into this round number at the 70, 97 area, 98. So that's what I'll be shooting for. I also tried to take a long, and I took a -10. So I'm kind of back to where I started in the morning, but my first try long was just off of this volume here, this massive amount of buying that came in here, and then the push up. Expectation was for that to hold at the 80, and it didn't, and I got taken out pretty quickly. So not an ideal setup, but I thought it was worth the try just based on the volume that had come in there. And so this trade's working out pretty nicely. My expectation would have been for this area to hold at the 80. We haven't got back there yet, so going to be looking to manage this now here, because anywhere in here is kind of untested supply, and I don't want, if I get anywhere up in here at this in low 90s, mid 90s, we could see that come all the way back down to this 80 here. So I want to see this flush and see where the volume comes back in, and it seems like getting a little bit, nothing real, not any real big increases in volume or interest here yet, so I'm not really too nervous. To the left here we have this volume here, so I'll be watching to see what happens. This could be problematic for this trade, I see, and that could be why we're seeing a little bit of a reaction off that area here. But until we get in and test this area, I'm going to give it a little bit of room into the 97, 98 area. And it's been another day, and I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to figure out where that line is between giving my trades the ideas to work out and play out, because both of my longs in the morning were profitable, solid trades, and I took them off too early at break even. So really trying not to do that and just let my read and the context play out. Could this come back and take me out? Absolutely. Do I really want to take this off at +10? No, because my loss is it's just not profitable if I'm taking 10 tick trades. I mean, it's better than losing, but I really need to get those average winners up in the that 20 plus area where I was a couple weeks ago. I need that to happen to offset my win rate where that's at and my losses. Where I am going to look to manage it really tight is around the 20 number, because I know that's the area where I need to be to have a real nice expectancy. And 10 is kind of so-so, with my average loser being anywhere from 5 to 10. So, but the 20 that makes a big difference. So if I can lock that in, I'll be looking to manage that pretty tight. I'm not seeing any issues with this trade right now. We're still, no significant volume is coming in. We have definitely the possibility to fill in this space here. If I see some big volume, some increase in volume, so anything in here is just going to be normal normal price movement. So I'm not gonna. There's really not anything for me to do here. I'm gonna trust that my read on this trade is good and let it play out. It's got a nice little push higher here, and hopefully the structure here holds, and we'll see what we can get out of this thing. But right around that 20 mark there, and I'm probably going to get taken out here. Didn't quite get to my number. We pushed to 96, so I'm going to give it one more chance here to go. So I just got taken out, plus 13 at 86, which is right here. Was hoping that this structure would hold, so 96 to 86, that's 10 ticks, but 13 there instead of 25-ish or so. So I still expect it to make it to that area, but just being, like I talked about, having the space fill in all the way back to 80, I didn't really want to give up that whole trade there, so that's okay. On that trade, I think in hindsight, being that we were right at the edge of this range here in this value, 96, 97, I should have locked in 20 there instead of taking the 13. And if we got the extra little bit to my target at 98, 99, that would have been fine. But when we came up here and held this edge of value, that I really should have locked in the 20, I feel. But it's okay. I think I'm going to call it a day. It's lunchtime on Friday, so volume's starting to get pretty light. Overall, decent day. Plus 10 and about 6 trades. So